Welcome into the Dynasty Draft Room. This is the draft seminar, and today we have one of my guys in this year's draft class, and I know he's one of John's guys too. A wide receiver we don't think is getting enough hype, and that is Michael Pittman Jr., the wide receiver out of USC. So John, before I get too excited here, I'll let you go ahead and intro the lesson.
So Matt, my friend, I grew up watching the USC Trojans, and I've always liked them, but I'm old when they used to be student body right, and they would run those halfbacks to the right side of the field behind on the pulling guards. It was just phenomenal. But over the last 20 years, USC has become one of the preeminent quarterback wide receiver programs in the nation. And I love staying up late watching the Trojans. And over the last year, Michael Pittman Jr. has been one of those players that caught my eye as the season progressed, and I enjoyed watching him play. Now, he's the son of Michael Pittman Sr., and I'm old enough to have his father on my NFL fantasy teams. He played 11 seasons in the NFL, and he was member of the Super Bowl 37 champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, his son, coming out of high school, he was a 2015 Parade All-American First Team and Prep All-American Dream Team. But you have to remember, when he stepped onto the USC campus, there were a lot of very good receivers in that locker room. So he really didn't blossom and bloom until his senior season. But his sensational campaign elevates the Trojans wide up everyone's rankings. At the end of the year in 2019, he was first team All Pac-12. And in 2018, he was All Pac-12 honorable mention. So if you look at his resume, over the past two seasons, he's much better than he's given credit for. Obviously, 2019 was better. But overall, he's corralled 142 passes for 2,033 yards and 17 touchdowns over the past two seasons. But what really popped to me was when he went to the combine and he illustrated better than expected athletic ability. I am very bullish on Michael Pittman Sr. What say you, Matt?
Yeah, John, I think one of the things that I want to point out here, and you're about to jump into his production and his numbers a little bit deeper, but one thing I want you to keep in mind when thinking about those numbers and Michael Pittman's career, he has played in a USC program that is stacked at the wide receiver position, like John alluded to. You know, you got guys like Tyler Vaughn, Amon-Ra St. Brown, some of these guys that we hear as, top prospect names, multiple classes out. But yet Michael Pittman Jr. was the one pulling in the majority of the volume there this past season. He also, at different points in time, had three different starting quarterbacks throwing him the ball in 2019, and it landed on Keaton Slovis, who was a true freshman. And so, Michael Pittman Jr. was really that veteran presence that he was able to rely on, and you could see there that there was that connection. And I think there's a lot of NFL teams where Michael Pittman Jr. is, I don't think he's necessarily the best, he's ever going to be the best wide receiver on his NFL team, but I think he could be a very, very good wide receiver too on an NFL team for a long career. I think he has a high floor, maybe a little bit lower of a ceiling, but he's a guy that I'm really excited about and also very bullish on, John. So why don't we dig a little bit into those production numbers?
When I look at his production and athletic ability profile, he hit 6 of my 7 benchmarks, Matt. His career resume is not being talked enough about. He has 171 career receptions. I love that. The only benchmark that he falls short is yards per reception. I'm looking for 15, but he has 14.7. So he's almost there on the only one he misses. Last season, he was so good, Matt. You alluded to it. He was catching passes from a true freshman. But that was the third quarterback behind center for the Trojans. And he still had a 74% catch percentage. That is phenomenal. His team aerial dominator, despite all of that talent at USC, he had 29% of the share of passing yards. Again, simply phenomenal. Now, I had heard about him at the Senior Bowl. I had watched some clips of him at the Senior Bowl. But my friend Matt, when he went to the combine, He just literally hit a grand slam. His 40-yard dash, 4.52, three-cone drill, 6.96, and 20-yard shuttle, 4.14. This is a man who's 6'4", 223 pounds. He is a superior athlete with tremendous production, Matt. What does the film tell us?
Yeah, John, let's go ahead and jump into the film, because I'll be honest, I was not as keen on Michael Pittman Jr. until I went in and started looking at his film, and then I kind of had this aha moment of what have I been doing this entire time. So let's go ahead and jump into it here. Michael Pittman Jr., the wide receiver out of USC, and we're going to start here against BYU. He is an end zone threat. He is a tall athlete, John. Really good handwork here you can see against BYU. And then he has underrated speed. You mentioned it showed up at the combine, but look at the way he closes the gap on this overthrown ball here. And it ends up leading him too far down the field, but because he had created separation, he was able to safely extend and get that ball across the goal line there at an angle that beat the safety. He has sneaky versatility. You can see here USC's actually using him on an end around. He's 6'2", John. He's over 200 pounds. He's being used on end arounds. And he has really great ball tracking skills in the air. Look at him go up and find this ball, even through double coverage, thrown over his back shoulder there. You could see that Michael Pittman Jr. made the true freshman's job easier very consistently, and that is something that I would be very excited about if I was an NFL team looking for a solid, consistent, reliable wide receiver for my quarterback.
You know, Matt, it's interesting. In a normal year when we didn't have such an incredible class of wide receivers, Michael Pittman might be in the top 3 or 4 players at the position, but there is just so many outstanding prospects at the top of these boards. He slides a little bit and is going to be of value, I think, in the second round. Now, he's physically imposing with the prototypical combination of height, strength, bulk, and body control. You showed it on the film there. He has impressive agility for a very big athlete. He clears defensive backs with good hand technique. He has long arms and strong hands to corral the football. He jumps, twerks, and contorts his body to haul in passes. What I like about him, Matt, he runs through arm tackles. He must have got that from his dad. He was probably watching film as a kid of his dad destroy opponents. He is a quality route runner, and he's victorious at the catch point. He's a willing and effective blocker in the run game. He looks like a Pittsburgh Steeler. The problem is they already have a USC Trojan named Juju on that roster. So I don't think the Steelers are going to be dipping into the pool for another receiver. But he looks like your atypical Steeler wide receiver. Now, I believe he has scheme versatility. I love this prospect. What a great second-round pick for an astute NFL franchise. What do you guys say grading-wise, Matt?
John, here at the Dynasty Draft Room, we have him graded out at an 82.6. That projects him to be a mid-level starter. We are very high on him, and we really enjoy his tape. John, I had a question on Twitter last night, and it said, is it safe to assume Michael Pittman Jr. is going to be around in the second round of my fantasy football rookie drafts? And my reply to them was yes, but only if you're not playing in my league, because this is a guy that I want to make sure that I have on my team as a priority. You can find all of John's fantasy football rookie profiles at footballdiehards.com, and you can find him on Twitter at GridironSchol91. I'm on Twitter at the FF_educator. You can find all of my work at dynastydraftroom.com, and that does include the 2020 fantasy football rookie profile, or the rookie draft guide, I should say, that has 91 rookie profiles with chock full of information, even more than these videos here, just like Michael Pittman. John, great lesson. Class is over.